Over 2 million construction jobs around the world are taking their projects to the next level. From roadways to railways, from skyscrapers to homes. Make your vision a reality. Build with Autodesk Construction Cloud. Try it free today at construction.autodesk.com.
Marks and Reese, we are back. It is Howie Roseman Appreciation Day, at least for me, not for many other people.
You're appreciating.
I'm trying to, but
Well, I appreciate it.
I know you do, Ike.
I appreciate it. But I also know that having an appreciation day is over the top.
Yes, you're. Well,
like I do know that too.
I don't believe so, but many people agree with you, and we will get back to some of those, including Jack, who's very upset. So there's going to be obviously like the topic of conversation once the season ends, whether it's after one playoff game or whatever, is okay. Now what? Right? Like Jalen Hurts looks like he's the quarterback. I'm sure there'll be times where we're trading for Russell Wilson or we're trading for this guy or that guy based on rumors out there.
Not if he looks good in the playoffs, we won't.
Well, that's true. That's true. Yeah, I mean, if he looks good, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, he has a great playoff game. I don't think anybody will be saying we need to trade Jalen Hurts.
So
the flip side of that is if he looks bad,
then we probably will.
Then everybody will be saying it.
Then Kenny Pickett is going to be drafted. Anyway, but the conversation is going to turn to what do you do with the draft picks? And this is something that I've talked about before, which is everybody's assuming or wanting Howie to take all three of those first-round draft picks and build the defense or take players and whatever. And I've always contended Howie Roseman's strength isn't like the draft. The Eagles aren't great at drafting like the Steelers or the Ravens. So using one of those draft picks for future assets or for a player makes a lot of sense, right? So Calvin Ridley is he's in his fourth year. He's a former first-round draft pick. He had a really, really good year last year. He's only played a handful of games. He's left the team twice with he was having some mental issues, I guess. But the talk down there is that possibly it makes sense for both sides to move on from Calvin Ridley. Probably cost you a first-round draft pick. He's under contract for one more year at $11 million. It's a fifth-year option for Calvin Ridley. But all indications are it looks like, I don't know what the Falcons are doing down there. I guess they feel like they don't have their future quarterback, so they're not going to extend him right now. But it seems like a fresh start makes a lot of sense for Calvin Ridley. He could be available. Might cost you a first-round pick. Ike, you interested?
Yeah. You got to do a background check on him, though.
Yeah, see, that's the concerning thing is that.
I mean, yeah, that's part of it.
Played in 5 games this year.
Yeah. And he had a lot of mental health issues where he was absent. And so that thing would concern me. If you're just talking about talent, it's a no-brainer.
Right.
I mean, he'd come here and be the best receiver on the team.
Yeah. So if he checks out and, hey, listen, I mean, like I said, he's left the team twice this year, so he's only played in 5 games. But the talent's certainly there. I'm all for using one of those first-round draft picks to acquire a veteran wide receiver. We've seen it done a couple times with Diggs, and DeAndre Hopkins was only a second-round draft pick. Yeah. But you had to give new contracts. It's worked out well. Listen.
I mean, think about it. He had 10 touchdowns his rookie year, 7 his second year, 9 last year. And last year was his best year.
90 catches, 1,374.
1,300 yards,
yep.
15 yards a catch.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then this year, again, 5 games. And
this has been a wasted year.
Yep.
He hasn't even played this year.
So it intrigues you enough to check it out.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't have any problem checking it out to make sure everything on the surface is good with him. And then you want to make sure there are no issues behind the scenes because you don't want to disrupt the chemistry on this team. Now, the good thing is he and Devontae have been teammates, I believe, for 1 year. I think they were teammates in that championship
and
team,
Hurts,
right?
too.
And Hurts, yes. All of them on that. Well, who the hell wasn't on that championship team? So that wouldn't necessarily be an issue. They would certainly get along and feed off each other. They would feed off each other, 2 Bama brothers there. And so, yeah, I would look into it. But, again, the one thing that would concern me is that he missed time this year for personal reasons. And at one point it seemed as if there were conflicting sort of messages from his side of things versus the Falcons side of things. And he came back and then he left again. And It was weird this year.
Yeah.
And I didn't have him in my fantasy league this year, so I didn't pay
Close
attention to it. But I'm sure people who had him had to be frustrated not knowing if he was going to be in 1 week, out 1 week, and that sort of thing.
Which is the last thing the Eagles want to do is acquire him, and then he's a guy that because
you're not getting him for a 5th-round draft pick, so you got to give up I don't know if it's going to cost you a first or whatever, but he's a pretty damn good player.
It's going to cost you. It's going to be, if it's not a first, it'll be close. You're also going to have to give him a new contract, which is you have the one chip, right? Like, so you might end up getting Allen Robinson, which is a significant downgrade from the players we're looking at. Like, we're pie in the sky. All right, like Devontae Adams, Aaron Rodgers leaves Green Bay. We want Devontae Adams. Give him the biggest contract in league history for a wide receiver. Or a guy like Calvin Ridley. Maybe the trade market's also something that Howie Roseman and the Eagles could do. So,
yeah, he last played against the Dolphins October 24th. That's the last time he played.
So he came back for like a game?
I think so. He played against Washington, had 7 catches for 80 yards. Then he missed 2 games, came back for that Dolphins game.
It's been out ever since.
It's been out ever since.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, like I don't play. I'm gonna have to reach out to Big Hugh or something down there to see what the deal is. And I'm sure this will be a rumor that goes into the offseason for sure. So.
Well, it's not like they don't need another receiver alongside Devontae.
Yeah.
And I'd rather at least we know Calvin Ridley's good.
Oh, yeah.
Like, rather than having to trust the draft pick again.
Yeah. I almost don't want him to.
Yeah, just go get a sure thing and listen, and use the other 2 picks on defense.
And
knock
this is
yourself
actually right up their alley where you get a guy who's coming off his first contract as opposed to like Devontae Adams. That may be pie in the sky. Because they may say, well, we're not ready for Devontae Adams right now.
And he knows that, and he says, hey, I can go here. I got the quarterback. I got the money. I got a chance to win.
You mean Devontae Adams?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, with him. I'm just saying with the Eagles, they may feel like,
right,
what's the point of paying
it's not the
$100 million when we're not really ready to win right now?
Right. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right, but they still need to upgrade a veteran receiver. It may end up being a B-level guy like Allen Robinson.
Well, and the thing is, it hurts us that guys like Gallup got injured.
Godwin.
Shark, Godwin, those guys got injured. Now, you could get one of those guys on a 1-year deal like we got
cheaper.
Alshon.
Yeah.
Alshon got injured his last year and had to do a 1-year prove-it deal.
Yeah, and how he waited out that market and got
him on a 1 year.
Got him on the 1 year. The problem was they extended him.
Well, we did win the Super Bowl.
No, I know, but yeah, exactly.
But as a 1-year prove-it deal, like, I mean, you have to be more of a win-now team, I would think, for that to make sense.
I agree. I mean, yes. You don't have to be, but to your point.
What's the point? I mean,
what's the point of doing a 1-year prove-it deal? Well, with one of these guys, it would be I want to make sure I'm not overly pot committing to a guy coming off an injury. And Gallup is young enough, Shark is young enough, Godwin is young enough that if they do prove to be healthy, knowing the Eagles, they would just give them the extension in November or December.
Right. They get the big payday then.
Yeah, so at least you get a chance to see him up close and personal first. And the thing with Alshon also that wasn't the case with these guys, Alshon had a little bit of a bad rap, too, coming out of Chicago.
He came off a PED suspension. Yep. As we learned, he's probably not the best teammate.
Wasn't, yeah. Well, they thought he quit on him out there, too. So, But, again, we won the Super Bowl.
We love Alshon.
I would do it. I don't know. I'm not going to go that far.
Well, Jack does.
But I would.
You would do it again.
Yes. I don't have revisionist history to say I wouldn't do it.
But
although I didn't like it when it happened.
Right. Well, and the extension.
But we won the Super Bowl, and I would have given him the extension.
The real issue was when they guaranteed his salary.
Money, yes.
Because they were trying to get Jalen Ramsey, and they didn't get him.
Listen, that year when they played in 2017, his first year, he was outstanding. I had no issue with Alshon that year. He was outstanding. Even I was saying I was wrong.
Oh, the legendary interview. Remember the interview at the Super Bowl?
Right, yes. And that endeared him to everybody.
Oh, he's a real guy.
Yeah.
They dropped the ball in the Saints and was at elementary schools all week.
Yeah, that's right. Jack, who signed Alshon to a 1-year contract?
Well, Howie knows that.
Howie,
best receiver since T.O. I mean, you can't mess that up.
But by the way, like I'll push back a little bit on the assertion. Like, why would the Eagles sign a 1-year prove me contract? Like, why would they be interested in that? Man, they're trying to help develop Jalen Hurts.
Oh,
and
hell
they're trying to get guys that can play, even if it's for a year.
Why would they do it? They watched the 16 games we watched.
Yep.
We got one wide receiver on this team.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, I want the core to be developed going forward. You get him on a 1 year. Now, if you want
I know what you're saying.
if you want to sign Godwin and then re-sign him with
Right.
that hope, I'm saying 1 year in and then have to move on in a year.
Right.
I would rather get a guy that can be here for a couple.
But so they did the same thing with Wentz because they looked at the wide
They
receivers.
were trying to get him talent. Yep.
Yeah, they're saying
Torrey Smith that was a 1 year too, right?
It was
or 2 year. It was a 2 year deal.
Was it a 2? It
Yeah,
was
'cause
more than one.
They traded
Yeah.
in the second year.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, then the
That
guy
whole
was the
season.
guy they traded him for the Philly guy, and then the Philly guy got in trouble here,
That's right.
and then they released that
Yeah,
guy.
we never did get the Philly guy on the field.
Who was it?
Daryl Ward.
Was it Worley?
yeah.
Was it? Is that who they got for him?
Yeah.
Yep.
Carolina.
I saw him running around playing for somebody recently.
Oh, yeah, he's still playing.
Cowboys, I think.
Is it the Cowboys? Yeah, he's somewhere.
I saw him somewhere.
Yeah.
But anyway, like you still need players on the team. Like you may not be Super Bowl ready, but you just can't trot out Quez Watkins and Devontae again without at least trying to get somebody.
Well, and here's the other thing. The Eagles don't want to play football this way moving forward.
They're not a run-first organization now?
No, they're not a run-first organization. I don't believe that has changed. It's changed for this season.
Right.
Because they've adapted to the talent around them. And I've always said this, that the lack or moving away from the passing game and the ineffectiveness of the passing game early wasn't solely due to Jalen Hurts. Those inaccuracy issues, some of them, yes. But we don't have good wide receivers other than Devontae Smith that you can rely on week in and week out. So that also contributed to the passing game struggles. It's not just the quarterback. Well, you got to have guys get open. You got to have receivers to catch the ball. You got to be able to stretch the field, all those things. I like Quez Watkins, but it's once or twice a game we get to see Quez Watkins. It's not 7 times a game we see Quez Watkins.
All right.
When I mean by seeing him, I mean him catching the ball. He catches
Doing something.
Yeah, 2 balls a game. Pause. But that's pretty
he's
much
not
what
a
he catches.
high volume guy. All right. Give me a thumbs up or thumbs down. Allen Robinson,
I would go thumbs up.
Chris Godwin.
Thumbs up.
We obviously love Devontae Adams.
Yep.
Will Fuller,
No, thumbs down.
injured too much.
And he's a Philly guy, though.
He is.
Yep.
Jamison Crowder.
No, how old is Jamison Crowder?
Sneaky. 28 and a half.
He's not that old. 28 and a half. That's not
He
old.
might be a good
Oh, he'd be a
B-level
great
guy.
slot
He can
receiver.
play.
No, he's a slot receiver.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what he is. He's your third guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a third guy.
T.Y. Hilton.
No.
Juju Smith-Schuster.
I like Juju. Yeah.
B-level. He's a
Yeah, I mean, yeah, all these guys. None of these guys are, we're talking about a number 1 wide receiver.
no.
Like,
Just
none of these guys are, I mean, other than the first few you named.
they're number 2.
The
is
rest
the
of them are
best.
going to be complimentary wideouts.
Manny Sanders.
Was he 35?
Yeah,
Manny
almost.
Sanders, oh, yeah.
I mean, been pretty good. I mean, like at this point, I don't know. So there are some decent names that are out there, and we'll see. They're going to be in on some of these guys.
Yeah, you want a top of the list guy that's gonna make it. Like Emmanuel Sanders doesn't do anything for
No.
me. Like those even Crowder doesn't really do anything for me.
No,
I mean, I want one of the top guys. I want one of those guys.
Godwin.
Or you either get me Dotson from Penn State or the kid from one of the two from Ohio
State. Yeah.
Yeah. one of those two. Chris
I would-
Olave.
Can we get a future pick on Marvin Harrison Jr.?
Yeah, how about that?
Wait a year or two.
Like 3 touchdowns.
Listen.
He's a
that
true
dude
freshman,
looks
right?
so smooth out there running.
Looks like Devontae. I mean,
He looks like
Yeah.
his dad too,
Yeah,
big time.
yeah. You can see it.
Yeah, you
You
can.
can see it. Yeah.
So you're saying one of these first round picks you would consider it on a wide receiver?
Yes.
Oh, nice. All right.
Well, because the third pick is going to be back there where they should take where
In the 20s.
You should be taking the best player available back there, and if the receiver is there, snatch him up.
You take him. All right. Miles Sanders
when
officially.
Now, I got to have that linebacker from Georgia.
he's
I
a
agree with
monster.
you. They
King,
need to draft a Georgia
Yeah.
player.
Yeah, I think this is the year.
Is it?
I think this is the year.
See you, Jerry.
I think, Jerry, this will be your last year, buddy. I think we go get one this year.
Is really?
I think so.
I wonder if they can. Is there any chance they could get Hamilton, the Georgia kid, and then the receiver?
Yeah.
That would be.
Yeah, well, Hamilton may go. Well, it depends on where that Dolphin pick lands.
Right now it's 11, I think.
Then they would have a shot.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so this kind of segues back into the Howie conversation because we have the Jerry Robinson 1979 haven't used a first round pick on a linebacker
Right.
conversation a couple times a month, it feels like, right?
Yep.
And then we look at the Eagles linebackers and we say, well, look, they just don't value linebackers. They just don't value linebackers. Maybe Howie Roseman, we talked about him changing and realizing like, hey, listen, like I have to adapt with the times. Maybe he does look at it now and say, you know what? We could really use a playmaker at linebacker.
And that's what I would advise.
Like Micah
right?
Parsons opened his eyes.
Exactly. So if I'm evaluating the talent and I'm saying I'm ranking the players and I rank the top 30 players and there's a linebacker who I've ranked by just doing unbiased scouting, looking at traits, and I say this kid is the 15th best player in this draft, why wouldn't I take him? Like when you're a team that's devoid of talent in all different areas, you just need to get good players.
Yeah.
So taking a lineman because, quote, unquote, that's the smart thing to do and you're building the trenches, but what if the lineman stinks? What if it's Andre Dillard? Right?
Yeah, well, I mean, listen.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like
you get hits or misses on these guys.
But that's what I'm saying, though, John, and I'm saying this for the Eagles' sake, that you can't get so locked into this position stuff and basing it off salary cap and
Take good players.
Take good freaking players.
Right.
And figure it out afterwards.
Well, by the way, Micah
like,
Parsons.
who the hell wouldn't take Micah Parsons right now?
The value of Micah Parsons going outside the top 10 because the linebacker position in a 4-3 defense is devalued.
It's
You're
ridiculous.
getting a great player.
Yes.
So if you're picking in the teens, you might be getting, if it was the 80s, you might be getting a player that would have been a top 7-8 pick.
Right. Yeah.
Micah Parsons should have been a top 5 pick in this past year's
Easily a
draft.
top 5 talent in this draft.
Easy.
And he's a difference maker. So why wouldn't I want that talent on my team?
Man. And how he started drafting Alabama players, he sees the light, Ike.
So there you go.
There you go, Jack.
Well, he loves overcorrecting. I mean, a couple years ago, it was speed, and then he walked out with Rager, Hightower, Quez.
Except Rager's not
Track
fast.
team, yeah.
Yeah, they didn't check the 40 time on Rager before that.
All right, Jack, Miles Sanders officially out. Not that anybody expected him to play
No.
this week? No.
And no injury designation for Jalen Hurts.
Yeah.
So do they come out and run a couple series?
Who?
There's no injury designation for Jalen Hurts.
I mean, I don't know what they're going to do. I'm telling you what I would do.
Right, which is not play any
exactly.
of these guys.
I don't know what they're going to do. I don't know what benefits you get by running a couple series.
Right. And Nick Sirianni.
And here's the other problem. When you tell players they aren't going to play the whole game, their mindset is already
different.
When am I getting out of the game?
As opposed to being locked into
and
the
just
game.
playing.
Yeah.
And just playing.
Yeah. Nick Sirianni earlier today, this morning, did give the "I'm not sure what I'm going to do yet" thing. To me, that's he's not saying it. Maybe the networks asked the teams not to say guys aren't playing, but if they're playing, it's an easy answer. Like, oh no, they're playing, right? But just the fact that he still says he's not sure what they're going to do tells me that
I think the better question is, do you want him to play?
Right.
Right.
I don't.
If you're a fan, that's the better question. I mean.
Yeah,
I don't get what a series of two does for anybody. I just don't. I know Devontae wants to set the rookie record. Okay, I relented on that, but you better hope he doesn't get hurt trying to set a record.
Yeah, I have no interest in any of the regulars playing.
No, I don't.
No, not at all.
They're not going to play the whole game, so what's the purpose of them playing?
Our Twitter question today is brought to you by Mark's Jewelers. Support the home team and shop Mark's Jewelers in Montgomeryville for the best selection of diamond engagement rings in the area. Online, marks-jewelers.com. It is Howie Roseman Appreciation Day. And on Howie Roseman Appreciation Day, we ask you, do you believe in Howie Roseman again? 63% say no, we do not. We need like a fresher one that says, do you think Howie Roseman's a good GM? I'm just curious to see what people say. Jack, do you believe Howie Roseman's a good GM?
No.
So you don't believe in Howie Roseman?
I do not believe in Howie Roseman.
Ike, do you think Howie Roseman's a good GM?
Of course.
Okay. You just don't think there's necessitates a appreciation day.
No. Listen, and plus I know how people this thing will turn. Yeah, so yes, I'm like, okay.
Let's go to the phones. Mm-hmm. David in Sewell, New Jersey. David, how are you?
Hey guys.
What's up?
What's up, David?
I never really stopped believing Howie Roseman. I'm not saying he's the best ever, but I always thought he was a good general manager. And I don't know if you remember, there's those all-season segments we used to do 6 years ago or older that says, would you, if you could win a Super Bowl, would you give up the playoffs for like 5 or 10 years?
Yeah.
We won a Super Bowl, and we haven't given up the playoffs. And for the people who are saying, oh, it's a schedule, it's a schedule, it's a schedule, they dominated most of the teams, most of those bad teams they played. They in terms of even with some slow first halves, they've beaten them soundly in most cases. The Cowboys are 6-4 in their last 10 games. They haven't beaten a playoff game in that stretch, but they've lost to 3 of them. So it's the Eagles have done, in comparatively, especially in their division. I mean, you got teams that can't get out of the way, like the Giants. The Eagles are never like that. They're down to 4 wins and they're in the playoffs the next year. That doesn't happen by accident. But the thing that kills me, and real quick, you can't start a Howie Appreciation Day legitimately with baby Mikey on for 4 minutes, because that's really that really trashes the whole idea of appreciation. But
well, I mean, if there's one person that I thought that should appreciate Howie Roseman, it's Mad Mike.
Oh, come on. He hates him. He will appreciate him if Howie Roseman saved his life. If he was choking and Howie Roseman did the Heimlich maneuver, he would still hate him. But
for some strange reason, I think you may be right about that.
you did a great job countering what he had to say, though. You did a great job on that call.
Oh, thank you, Dave. Thank you.
You're welcome. But it's like if you look at what they've done, the moves they've made. Yeah, they've made big mistakes, but you can't complain about what this team has done. This team has always had a good foundation for a team, and it's always bounced back. I mean, if you look at all the moves they do make and have made that have turned out, it way outweighs the stuff that they've done wrong. And the last thing is, whenever somebody comes into a discussion and they're on they're against somebody or against something, and they say, "Oh, it was luck," when they only give credit to the other side, it being lucky, they have no argument. There's no argument, because you can't be lucky every year and all the good stuff's luck, all the bad stuff's his fault. That to me is not a serious argument, and it just shows that you're a hater, and you don't have a serious leg to stand on as far as your argument.
All right, David, appreciate it. Appreciate it, man. I'm not the biggest Howie Roseman fan in the world. People may think differently after today. No, I'm like,
it was your idea to have this appreciation day.
He has flaws. He's not perfect. He's made bad draft picks. There's been some dysfunction in the organization that you can attribute to him. I'm not telling you that stuff isn't real. What I'm saying is that I'm a bottom line guy. I just want results.
Yeah,
I do. I just want results, and the results for the Philadelphia Eagles really since Jeffrey Lurie took over the team, but in particular since Howie Roseman became the GM, is certainly much, much more good than bad. There's been some bad. Last year was a disaster. Mm-hmm. Last year was an absolute disaster. You're still starting. There's a lot of work that needs to be done. This year, you win 9 or 10 games this year. That doesn't mean anything unless you improve your team next year and you take that next step, or you at least, you prove that you're a good team. And they still have to do that. I get that. But like Howie's done this before, and I have confidence that he can do it again. And if I'm just being fair about it, a year ago we were firing Howie, and we had the sign across the Schuylkill that was pointed in our direction, and people wanted Howie's flesh. A year later, I think it's fair to say, you know what? He's done a good job. He's done a good job to turn this around. Team is ahead of schedule, and I'm excited to see what they have in the future. They have some salary cap space. They have some draft picks. They have some decent, they have some good young players. Last year's draft was pretty good. Smith looks good. Dickerson looks good. Milton Williams has looked good, in particular in the last couple of weeks, right? Like Gainwell's a contributor. So I think the future's looking bright. I do. I like what I've seen in the last year, and that's why I'm throwing Howie Roseman a bone today. 215-592-9494. It's Marks and Reese. All your calls. Howie Roseman Appreciation Day. It's also the anniversary of an iconic Eagles game. What was it? We have the audio for you coming up next. Marks and Reese on 94 WIP. Yeah, flag and anthem. Let's talk about it. I was going through some emails here during the last break, and I saw the flag and anthem email that I got today. Up to 50% off jackets. And I look at it right there. You have the hooded shirt jacket, which I love. You have a vest, which I have this awesome light blue vest. Very cool. You have another shirt jacket right here. You have just the flannel shirts. You have the hoodies. You have everything that Flag and Anthem has. And, I mean, that's really what it's about. It's about upgrading your wardrobe and getting some new stuff, right? And Flag and Anthem right now, if you go to flagandanthem.com, you can use promo code WIP. Promo code WIP gets you a great discount, but whether it's a camo hoodie, whether it's their flannels, they're amazing. Hoodies, jeans, my favorite pair of jeans that I have. Flag and Anthem. Join me. Join McCaffrey, Herbert, even Jack Fritz. His wardrobe has been upgraded at flagandanthem.com. Premium clothes, but without the premium price tag. Flagandanthem.com. They make real clothes for real life. Again, the promo code to use is WIP. You're on your phone all the time anyway. Get a wardrobe upgrade. Go to flagandanthem.com. Use the promo code WIP.
If you're a general contractor, a subcontractor, or an owner, you want your jobs to be on time and on budget. And that means working with Autodesk Construction Cloud, software that lets your team design, plan, build, and operate from office to field. It means getting end-to-end solutions, seeing project data in real time, and preventing problems before they happen. Trusted on over 2 million construction jobs around the world. Build with Autodesk Construction Cloud. Try it free today at construction.autodesk.com.
At flagandanthem.com.
Ball is snapped, placed, kicked, and it is no good! No good! It is no good, and the Eagles win!
He missed it.
Double doink! That's right.
Is this the anniversary of the double doink?
It is.
Wow. Yeah, I guess the seasons were shorter back then.
By one game, yes.
So it's 3 years?
Yeah, would be 3 years.
2018?
Yeah. 3 years, yeah.
Well, 2019 because it's 2022.
Yes.
That's I'm just making sure
Yes.
because it was the 2018 season, so it happened in 2019.
Yeah.
3 years ago. Does it feel longer than 3 years ago? It does to me.
Well, a lot has happened since that. I mean, honestly,
lifetime
yeah,
stuff.
a whole lot has happened since that. You're right. It does seem longer than 3 years. My goodness. Man.
Yeah, we already had the coaches gone, the quarterback.
Yeah, coach, quarterback. Yeah, both quarterbacks gone from that damn game. Yeah. Wentz on the sideline and Foles starting. Hell, we had Darren Sproles then, I think, right? We still had Sprosey.
Yeah.
I think we still had Sprosey then.
Yeah. Who caught the go-ahead touchdown?
Sprosey, right?
No.
No, Golden Tate.
Golden Tate.
Golden Tate
that's
was on
right.
the team that year. Yeah.
Oh, and that's how the third-round draft pick was justified. It's like, hey, he got the game-winning touchdown in that
man.
playoff game.
That's right.
I was at was it the Fillmore, Jack? I was at a viewing party at the Fillmore for that game.
Yeah, it sounds about right. That's
which
when we're
was-
still doing them.
Which was awesome. You had a whole place full of people watching the game on the big screen. That was awesome. There you go. Double doink. All right. Let's get back
I
to
would
it.
say a whole lot has changed in 3 years from both of those teams.
Yeah.
Well, Nagy's still there.
Well, our quarterback
Not
is
for
on
long.
that team.
Yeah, Nick's on that team.
Yes.
Their
They had
quarterback's
Trubisky back then.
yeah, their quarterback's now in a backup in Buffalo.
Yep.
Yeah, what do they have left on the?
I think that was Khalil Mack's last year. Because didn't Khalil Mack go up against? No, I'm sorry,
No,
it was
he's still on
last
the
year. That
team.
was his first year. That was his first year there. That was the year he got traded there. Yes.
Yeah, because they were good.
Yeah, they went up against Jason Peters that game. I remember.
Yeah, that's right. Cody Parkey's not there anymore. He double doinked it, right?
Yep.
Eagles great.
Yep.
Yep.
Well, there you go. Double doink. Let's go to the phones. We have Malik. Malik in Mount Airy on Howie Roseman Appreciation Day. Malik, how are you?
I'm great. Prez, how you doing? Can I get one today?
Oh, for sure. They must be drinking that Ike juice.
So let me get this straight. You have 3-4 drafts in a row that were completely trash, and then 1 year, and we forget about everything. So we're going to forget about the fact that we need linebackers. We're going to forget about the fact we need cornerbacks. We're going to forget about the fact we need safeties. We're going to forget about the fact that we need defensive linemen, 2 DNs. We're going to forget about all that for 1 year, right? That's what you're saying.
I don't know where they had 3 or 4 straight years of trash drafts. You'd have to inform me when that happened.
Okay, name. Okay, Goddard. I'll give you Goddard, and I'll give you.
So in 2018, they had 5 draft picks because of the Carson Wentz trade in large part. They got Dallas Goedert, Devontae Maddox, Josh Sweat, Matt Pryor, and Jordan Mailata. I'd say that's a good draft.
Josh Sweat and Jordan Mailata.
Dallas Goedert, Avonte Maddox, Josh Sweat, Matt Pryor, and Jordan Mailata. I mean, it's not hard to say that's a good draft.
And out of those picks,
we're looking at potential. I think Goddard's going to be a Pro Bowler. Mailata might be, and Avonte Maddox.
You get 4 starters.
Okay, and okay now we're going to give you that one. You know what? That was a great draft.
Okay,
the
because
following year?
it's not hard to find bad drafts, which I'll agree with you, Malik. It's not difficult to find the next year. Wasn't a great draft.
And the year before that, was that a good draft? No,
it was not.
That's what I mean. You're saying he's a good player, and
what I'm saying is you said there's 3 or 4 years of straight trash drafts in a row, and I'm saying that's the problem is that we're not dealing in reality here. He hasn't done a great job in drafting in a lot of years, but it hasn't been 3 or 4 straight years of total trash, which is what you said. That's the difference.
Okay, you said it was 8, the 17 draft. Which draft did you name all those players for?
2018. That was post Super Bowl.
So 19. So we're going to forget about 17, 19, 20.
I'm not forgetting about anything. You came in and said there was 3 or 4 straight years of trash drafts. I'm telling you that's just not correct.
So he's saying it's 3 out of 4.
3 out of 4.
I mean, we're splitting hairs here now.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, I'll give you 1
I
year.
need to see the
rest,
package.
Here's the thing. The rest of the years,
right?
Who do we have out of those players? Who do we have that you're going to be like, all right, this is going to be a perennial Pro Bowler. This is going to be an impact player.
Miles Sanders is the one impact player from 2019. 2020, Rager was a huge miss.
He's an injury-prone player. If he's that cool, if he was that much of a player,
yeah,
Miles Sanders would have been re-signed already. Is he re-signed?
I agree.
No, he's about to be so you can't say he was an impact player for 1
2019
year.
was a terrible draft. Ortega-Whiteside's terrible. Sharif Miller didn't even make the team, I don't think. And Clayton Thorson's not an NFL player. He didn't even make the team. So that's a terrible draft. So hold on a second. Just so I'm sure. So is that what we're doing? Is we're cherry picking the draft? Because I've already acknowledged that that's the biggest struggle with Howie Roseman has been his drafts, right? So that's it. We're just doing the draft. The draft hasn't been good. The results don't matter.
Remember, they say you build through the draft and you sustain championship teams.
Who says that?
Through the draft.
Who says that?
What have the Patriots done for the last 30 years?
Well, they had Tom Brady for a lot of those years, not making a lot of money.
They also build through the draft. Their best cornerbacks, they had Pro Bowl cornerbacks that were like undrafted players. They have the Pro Bowl linebackers that were 4th and 5th rounders.
Bill Belichick drafts well in some areas and doesn't draft well in other areas. Yeah, like I like Howie Roseman hasn't drafted well. He hasn't drafted well in a lot of years. I don't think it's trash across the board.
Well, here's the thing. Just like you can't use the Super Bowl to gloss over every other thing, right? Everybody that wants to say, appreciate Howie Roseman, your biggest feather in your cap is the Super Bowl. And that's a pretty big damn feather to have.
Mm-hmm.
That's a pretty big feather to have. And so there is a balance here that I think we don't want to acknowledge that while he did win the Super Bowl, there's been a lot of bad drafts after that. His job is to acquire talent, to put talent on the field, whether it's through trades, whether it's through free agency, whether it's through the draft. I've never been one that's focused solely on the draft. That's just one way to acquire talent on your team. It's through the draft. That's one way to do it, right? The Rams haven't necessarily built their team through the damn draft. So there's other ways you can acquire talent to improve your team. And I think Howie has done a decent job with that. Because even if you talk about trades or free agency, Javon and D. Slay and Slay are probably his biggest acquisitions since the Super Bowl. Or best acquisitions. At least I can think of off the top of my head.
Yeah,
right? Is anybody else that they acquired via trade or free agency that would trump those two?
I don't even know who else would.
Well, exactly. That's my point. That's what I'm saying. So you're looking at the ways that you acquire. Because here's what fans are doing, John. They're looking at the overall talent of this team. And they're saying, yeah, they're in the playoffs, but the overall talent on this team isn't great, and that's his job.
Yeah.
That's his job. Though the results from the talent that he acquired, fans want to give the majority of that credit to the coaches. To the coaches. In other words, that was Doug, Frank Reich, and those guys that coached those players up to that Super Bowl.
Sure.
You know, when you look at this team, is this team this year and being in the playoffs more of a credit to Howie Roseman or Nick Sirianni and his coaching staff?
Yeah, I think Sirianni gets the majority of the credit for this year based on what they did, but also look at the offensive line, and that's been a key component of the success they've had as well. But for the most part, it's Nick Sirianni.
Well, Howie Roseman don't coach the offensive line.
Right, Jeff Stoutland.
Yeah, but that's part of Nick Sirianni's coaching staff. I'm not going to single out every coach based on position. I'm just saying when you look at the team's success this year and being in the playoffs, and I'm just asking because this is how the fans, we could all be looking at the same thing, but we got to our conclusion differently. So the fans can be happy about this team being in the playoffs and not necessarily giving Howie Roseman a ton of credit.
Sure.
They could just be saying, no, this is more or less the coaches, Nick Sirianni, the veteran players. And I think that's what John Ritchie was saying during the show today because he's a big Jalen Hurts guy, you know, and you know, he's more or less not a Howie Roseman guy. So his point, as I was coming in and listening, is that, yeah, this team, the credit for this team's success should be given to the coaching staff and the players more than it is the front office.
Mm-hmm.
So when people view the team and they say, well, this is Howie Roseman Appreciation Day, they haven't let go of the other things.
Clearly.
And if you're being honest and you say, okay, if I look at the overall talent on the team, how would I grade the overall talent on the team?
Of the playoff teams that will be participating this year, it's probably the least.
Okay.
Especially in like because you don't look at the offensive lines the same way. You know what I mean? Like you're looking at overall talent. Probably the least.
And the offensive line can be is talented, and you get credit for that. I'm trying to, I guess, make sense of why some aren't necessarily attaching all the success the team has had over the last 5 years, or I should say the success the team has had over the last 5 years, directing it or attributing it directly to Howie Roseman. Some he fell into, some he didn't. I mean, hell, I even though we got a Super Bowl, you know how I feel about Alshon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's a big reason this whole thing crumbled, too. So you brought him in here and kept him in here in your locker room.
Right, and then wouldn't get rid of him because the cap hit would have been more and everything else. Yeah, no, I mean, it's fair.
So some of that's there. Some of that's there. I'm more in your camp as far as giving Howie Roseman his due. I'm just trying to make sense of those who don't want to give it to him or who aren't necessarily overboard with it.
Sure.
And it's stuff from the past.
I don't think anybody's really overboard with Howie.
We're doing appreciation. No, that's overboard.
I know, but it's more that's overboard. But I think there's more of that because it just feels like that the narrative. I mean, a month ago, it was people were still rooting for the Eagles not to have success so they could burn it down. How many like Jack? How many phone calls did we take of nope? The more games they lose, Howie Roseman's going to be gone, right? How they and
well, that's always Mad Mike.
And no, but like think about it. Like I remember you in particular saying over and over and over again, they're not firing Howie. Like Howie Roseman's not being fired, so you can root for anything that you want. Howie Roseman's here. Jeffrey Lurie doesn't think Howie Roseman's done a poor job.
Nope.
Well, like Jeffrey Lurie looks at it and says, "Hold on, we won a Super Bowl, we have playoffs. And by the way, Jeffrey Lurie's involved in a lot of what's going on here as well. Mm-hmm. He knows that. Yep. So if something didn't work out, Jeffrey Lurie, he's not going to blame himself for it necessarily.
Well, and he also knows that he likes the direction the team is headed in, and they have found a way to manage their way out of a very difficult situation from a year ago, and they're gonna have the ability to at least get back on the right track. And Jeffrey Lurie isn't the one on the phone willing and dealing with teams.
Right.
That's not what he does. So
no, he's just involved in what's going on. But Howie's the one that's
that's what I'm saying. So he's giving Howie credit for being able to get deals done that will at least allow the Eagles to dig themselves out of a hole. Right. So this is why I'm with you in the sense that there is some skill and some art to being able to navigate eating the biggest salary cap, dead cap hit in the history of the league, and then still making the
Make
playoffs.
the playoffs that same year.
Like, there's something to that. And even if I give Nick Sirianni the majority of the credit for the team being in the playoffs, who hired Nick Sirianni?
Right.
Howie Roseman was a part of that.
Yeah.
He was a part of that. So even indirectly, he gets credit. He should get credit for that.
Yeah.
But to your point, most people don't want to necessarily want to acknowledge those things or look at those things.
No, they just go right to the draft picks because that's
Yes,
true.
yes.
Because it's true. There's no hiding from it.
Yep.
There's no hiding from the draft picks. There's no hiding from some of the dysfunction and that kind of stuff or whatever. But, like, I just say that, and, like, I'll look at Jack and I'll say this to Jack. We'll go back to the phones. And this is this is my it's a very simple statement. I believe it. And I think if you can't agree with this, then I don't know what you're looking at. Howie Roseman's a good GM. He's not a perfect GM. Right? He's not the top GM. He's not a top 5 GM. Howie Roseman is a good NFL GM. Based on the success that he has had in the NFL, he's a good GM. Yeah. Is he the best GM in the division? Jerry Jones has built a better team right now.
Yeah.
There's a ton more talent on the team right now.
Did we ever think we would say that?
No.
Jerry Jones is the best GM in the division.
Oh, it's really Steven at this point. I mean, didn't Jerry?
Want to get Jerry.
No, because he still wanted
is-
Manziel. Come on, he still doesn't know what he's doing.
Stephen Jones isn't drafting players. Jerry Jones is. But to your point, he gets maybe
he did
some
want
help.
Manziel, he did.
No, but so that's what we'd be saying is that we'd be actually saying Jerry Jones is a better GM than Howie Roseman because there's no chance that the other guy, like Gettleman or the other guy, like look around the NFL and
Well,
look at some of the.
in Washington just got there.
So it's kind of
Jason
incomplete.
Wright,
It's incomplete to whatever. But like Jack, is Howie Roseman a good GM?
I would say middle of the pack GM. But like we years past is fine. It doesn't mean I have to trust him. Like I don't trust him going forward. Just got a couple picks right. Like Dickerson, whatever. We'll see. I like Landon Dickerson, but we also can't ignore all the injury history. And he still hasn't drafted. He still hasn't drafted a Pro Bowler since Wentz. I mean, like Miles Sanders doesn't count last year as
Jalen Hurts, as far as I saw.
it's Pro Bowl alternate. Oh, right.
Alternate.
Like he still has it for all the Super Bowl stuff.
There
Like
you go.
The last one was Wentz.
He outsmarted everybody and drafted Joe. Everybody loves Jalen Hurts, but Howie doesn't get credit for it. And by the way, I wouldn't give Howie credit for it either.
You still don't think that was a good pick?
I still don't think it was a good draft pick. Mm-hmm. All right, let's go to the phones. We have Ike in Southwest Philly. Ike, how are you?
Hey, what's up, y'all?
What's up, Ike?
What up, Ike?
Ain't nothing. Yo, here's my thing. It's just if you just look at what he did and be honest with it, you say he like 60-40 good, in my opinion. You know what I mean?
I would agree with that.
The thing I appreciate about Howie most that I don't think people give credit, I think people get mad at him about, but don't give him credit for as well. I love that he aggressive. Mm-hmm. And when you aggressive, you're going to miss. But I like that his aggressiveness makes him go and fix some of his misses. And you hear how people say, oh, he missed the receiver or whatever. But I appreciate that he go and fix it sometimes too. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. We was a stinking team last year, 4 wins. Like you know, because that's your family.
Yeah.
Eagles don't do 4 wins, man.
Nope.
And for us to turn this around, and Sirianni definitely get credit for it, but Howie do too. And he turned this. We got turned around when we supposed to be having a so-called rebuild that a lot of people thought, me included, that we was going to be on a rebuild. We in the playoffs with 3 first-round draft picks. Our future looked bright. And I'm saying I got to give him some credit for that. And an opinion on the general manager in my book, it changes from year to year. But I'm not going to go overboard either which way. And for the brother who called right before me, the Patriots so good they can't draft a damn receiver. They talking all that stuff about the Patriots. That's his Achilles heel. He can't draft a receiver. They can't stand to kill Harry up there. You know what I'm saying?
That is the one team that the Eagles are certainly better at drafting wide receivers than the Patriots. That's for damn sure, yes.
And that's what I was saying, where I was like, Belichick, like they draft well in other, just like the Eagles draft offensive linemen very well and defensive linemen normally very well. Yep.
Strengths and weaknesses. Here go the last thing I'm gonna say. Y'all was talking about Calvin Ridley. Y'all beat me to it because I really did want to say that. Yo, first of all, I don't think you got to give up a first-round draft pick because he, like you say, he was AWOL and got some problems now, and he coming up on a contract. So ain't no way in the world you got to give up a first-round pick. What I would do, I wouldn't mind giving up a second-round pick because it's going to be second round in the 20s then trade the last first-round pick back into the second round and try to get a first-round pick next year. And we covered everything we can on that and get defense. Calvin Ridley with Goddard and Devontae
Smith. Woo!
We cooking right there, man. Y'all be easy. Love the show.
All right, Ike.
Wait. One last thing.
Yeah.
I meant to say this last time I called. Yo, y'all show callers is wild, man. The other day when I called, I was listening to all Herb telling y'all the band, man Mike and my man Wade. I love the theme song and everything. And Jack got one of the best segments on the radio.
Oh my God, Ike!
Y'all be
Totally agree.
So, Ike, you didn't hear. We got word where we're not going to be doing the top 5 at 5 anymore. It's been preempted.
What?
Yeah,
It got too popular.
Sorry, Jack.
It's too big of a deal.
If that was the case, Jack would be.
Oh Lord, he wouldn't be here today.
He would not.
No. You can have Wilson.
Dan Wilson?
He's calling him by his last name now.
Yeah, Mr. Garrick himself.
All right, well, listen, calm down in there. All right, top 5's coming up. It better be Howie Roseman themed. Is it going to be Howie Roseman drops?
No.
No?
No. I don't need anything Howie. There's already been enough Howie stuff today.
Howie Roseman Appreciation Day. He's going to do the 5 things that he likes to eat on the Wednesday night or something. Awesome.
Sounds like a good idea.
All right, well, what is it today then? What do you got today?
It's a top 5 good things that happen in Philadelphia sports that were actually bad for our sports brains.
Yes, I know what's on the list. Idiot.
Yeah, can we just start with what number 1 is? The Super Bowl victory.
Uh-oh.
All right, let's go to the phone. Let's get one more. Ken in Mays Landing. Ken, go ahead. How are you?
Hey, guys. I was coming home from a military assignment and went right to Maine from Philly. And we won the Super Bowl while I was around a bunch of Pats fans in enemy territory. And my next military assignment was to cover the flyover at the Eagles parade. I ended up on one of those buses going through that parade, and the goosebumps I have right now, even thinking about all that Super Bowl year and everything, will never go away. And bringing in all those guys, I mean, there was like Ajayi and Smith and
Chris Long.
Keeping Chris Long. Yep. And I have a picture I just posted on Twitter with Bo Allen and Chris Long. And, just it was such a cool thing as a lifelong Philly fan. My father never got to see an NFL championship because he was born after, but he passed away before the Super Bowl happened. And, he got the Phillies World Series and a couple Stanley Cup for in the 70s for him. And the Sixers and the Flyers had made it but never won it. But that was so amazing. And to be a part of that parade and see those guys just embrace it all and be on those art museum steps, it was so awesome. And honestly, there were a couple of guys on that team, and I do question, why were they all gone after that? You go at the Bucks, I get they're totally different players in a totally different era. We liquidated after that. Why did we do that? But Howie still did assemble that. So thank you, Howie. I appreciate you, man, for doing that. Because it made a difference in my life. It was awesome.
No, we all do. And I think
Ken.
we all feel the same way, Ken. Listen, we all
very emotional for a lot of people.
Maybe not Jack, but most of us do.
Yes.
Even Jack got teary-eyed that night.
No, I did.
He was out there in the streets with Cindy Webster.
Yeah, I did. I think the NFC Championship game is when I saw Fultz in his own jersey. And that's the moment I was like,
that's when we should have known. Yeah,
this probably isn't going to work out. Yeah. I was like, what are you doing?
So where did you see Markelle Fultz?
Fultz in his own jersey.
Yeah, in a hotel downtown. He's outside with 5 of his friends, I think. And I saw him run out. And then I saw him in his own. I was like, that's Markelle Fultz. And I saw his face. And I was like, why are you wearing your own jersey?
Yeah, why not have on a Rocco jersey? Or
well, just you could have a Sixers jersey, like an Iverson jersey,
right,
or like they all wore throwbacks to the parade.
Yes, I agree. You can't have on your own jersey, Markelle.
Right.
Well, by the way, it was cold as hell out.
He wore it over a hoodie.
I was going to say, he had
it
over a hoodie.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Jeez. 215-592-9494. It's Marks and Reese.
Yeah, when are we going to get back to that night? to the night of the NFC Championship game and celebrating in the city again?
Not this year.
Yeah, when are we going back to that?
How about 2023?
What happened to the new norm?
Yeah.
Please don't put words in my mouth or we're going to have a problem.
Yeah, we're at the new norm right now. 215-592.
Oh, man, I was so in on that, too.
No, it sounded good.
I was hashtagging new norm everything.
Hey, it's the date of the parade. Hell yeah. 215-592-9494. It's Marks and Race. Is Doug not getting that job down there in Jacksonville? I know he interviewed.
The first interview.
No, I know.
When you're the first interview, you never.
It's a courtesy, yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, man.
When you're the first interview, yeah.
I will have something on my face for sure.
You're the first interview in December. Yeah,
Right,
they got to interview 18 more candidates.
Right.
They're not going to remember you. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, if they're still doing interviews, then you must have didn't impress them that much.
Right. Or, like, I mean, I think they have to go through the process. But to your point, like
what process? They interviewed half the Tampa Bay's roster.
Right. Well, I mean, to your point, it doesn't seem like they targeted Doug to be the guy they're hiring.
Well, I mean, they got the minority candidate out of the way. We know the Rooney Rules is shams. They got that out of the way with Leftwich and
right.
and Todd Bowles. So they interviewed Doug. I'm just saying.
Well, they could hire Doug now.
Exactly. And my point is, if they wanted Doug, why would you wait till the season is over when other teams get interviewing and possibly losing?
No, you grab him.
So if you want the guy, you go ahead and you get him.
Do you think he didn't impress in the interview, Jack?
Not impressed with the plan. Who is his defensive coordinator? Is it Chris Burke again or whoever?
It was Matt Burke.
Poor Doug.
Yeah. So that's my only thing. And quite frankly, there's going to be some other jobs that open up. I mean,
Las Vegas.
I'm rooting for him.
I mean, I don't want him in Jacksonville because I don't think he can win there. I don't like Trevor Lawrence, and obviously I don't know the kid, but I just the makeup. What was it that he didn't care about competing or something prior to the season? That I was like, I'm out.
It was something like that.
It was like football's not defining me kind of thing.
Yeah. Okay, Trevor. Great. Yeah, I'm out.
Yeah, football's not.
While you're playing, I do want it to define you. And
I mean, that's what I want, too. I want you to eat, sleep,
Yes,
and breathe in and be mad as hell when you lose.
I want you to be TB12. That's what I want.
Yep. I want you to cheat.
Well.
Hell yeah. All right, coming up, top 5 at 5. What does he have in store for us today? Also, we continue Howie Roseman Appreciation Day.
It's not been yes.
He's not. Not a lot of appreciation. There's been some appreciations.
Yeah, it really has.
It's like the last half hour, they're starting to pile in.
All right.
Yeah.
Marks and Reese on 94 WIP.
All right, referring a friend on FanDuel Sportsbook could be your ticket to Super Bowl 56. That's right, you can refer a friend on FanDuel Sportsbook in partnership with Valley Forge Casino, and you'll be entered for a chance to win an all-expenses-paid trip to Super Bowl 56 for two. Don't miss FanDuel's biggest refer a friend offer ever. All you have to do is share your exclusive referral link right from the Sportsbook app. And once your friend places any bet of $10 or more, you'll both get $50 and you'll be entered into the Super Bowl sweepstakes. Now, if you or your friend has been thinking about joining FanDuel, now's the perfect time to give it a shot. FanDuel Sportsbook is the official partner of 94 WIP. And if you're new to FanDuel, you can also sign up with promo code IKE to get your first bet risk-free up to $1,000 and make every moment more this NBA season. That's promo code IKE. So see for yourself why FanDuel is America's #1 sportsbook. Just download the FanDuel Sportsbook app and refer a friend for your chance to win a trip to Super Bowl 56 for two.
If you're a general contractor, a subcontractor, or an owner, you want your jobs to be on time and on budget. And that means working with Autodesk Construction Cloud, software that lets your team design, plan, build, and operate from office to field. It means getting end-to-end solutions, seeing project data in real time, and preventing problems before they happen. Trusted on over 2 million construction jobs around the world. Build with Autodesk Construction Cloud. Try it free today at construction.autodesk.com.